What's poppin', y'all? Tap in, tap in. If you like substance, go ahead and hit that follow button. I'm gonna hit you with substance every single day. For this video right here, I want you to pull out your pad and pencil as I want you to write these 5 components down. I'm gonna talk about the basis of every relationship. Do you know what the basis of every relationship is? It's trust. That's right. Trust is the basis of every relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a work relationship, right? It doesn't matter. Trust is the basis of all relationships. Get ready to write this down. I want you to also think about this threefold as I break it down. Let me say that. Think about this threefold. First, I want you to think about it as you have that relationship with God, right? Next, I want you to look at it from a standpoint of you having a relationship with someone else. And then third, I want you to look at it from a personal standpoint, right? How does someone view you when they're in a friendship or relationship with you? Or how does God view you, right? So you're looking at this in 3 different ways. The first component is understanding, right? You want to make sure you're able to understand that other person, no matter what it is they're saying or doing, even though you may not agree. We want to make sure that we have an understanding. It is important that we have an understanding of each other. Next, you want to make sure they can understand you. Make sure you're dealing with someone who has an understanding of who you are, how you feel, what you're thinking, so on and so forth. You want to have a connection with someone who has an understanding of you. And as we all know, God has an understanding of us. God knows who we are. There's scriptures that even say God knows the number of hairs we have on our head, right? There's nothing you can go through or deal with that God doesn't understand, right? God is always with you. He understands everything about you, even when everybody else doesn't, right? God understands you. Next, motives. You want to make sure you have good motives when you're dealing with other people, right? You want to make sure you have good motives. You want to make sure you're dealing with people who have good motives for you, right? And as we all know, God has good motives for all of us. Even if we read through that Bible, God is trying to protect us from everything in this world. Even though most of the time you may not listen, you may do your own thing or come up with your own philosophies. God has a good motive for us as he tries to protect us in every way as we move through this world, right? Next, ability. You want to make sure you have the ability to do what you say you're going to do. You also want to deal with people who also have the ability to do what they say they're going to do in regards to you. And as we all know, God has the ability to do anything and to help us fulfill anything and to protect us and to guide us and so on and so forth. God has the ability to make things happen in our lives as we've seen time and time again, right? Next, character. We want to make sure that we have good character through thick and thin. No matter what's going on in our lives, we want to make sure that we have good character. We want to make sure we're dealing with individuals who have good character, right? And as we all know, God has great character, right? As we've seen it time and time again throughout our lives, right? Even when things happen that we don't understand, God has great character, right? God has great character. Last but not least, track record. You want to make sure you have a good track record when you're dealing with others, right? Make sure your track record is good. Also, you want to make sure you're dealing with individuals who have a great track record when they're dealing with you, right? That track record is important. We want to keep a good, clean track record, right? A dependent track record. And as we all know, God has a great track record with us, right? No matter what it is, God shows up when we really need him, right? There's going to be bad things that happen in your life. But even through the midst of those things, we learn lessons, right? God has a great track record with us, right? And guys, that's all of them. I want you to write those things down. Let's do a recap of them, right? Number 1 was understanding. Number 2 was motives. Number 3 was ability. Number 4 was character. Number 5 was track record. Make sure you look at all those things in your relationship with God, in your relationship with others, and also make sure you are exuberating those traits. Thanks for watching. I love you all. Be blessed.